we finally had time to sit down and discuss the labor and delivery story. So there's not much to the vlog, just because, as I'll say like later on in the video, like his heart rate kept dropping. So we had a nurse in with us at all times. So we couldn't really pull out the camera for really anything.
There wasn't a lot of slow moments, and the moments that were slow, I feel like we were trying to sleep for 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of why there's not that much vlog to it. I was vlogging the day of I went into labor as like a baby watch, so I'll insert that footage here. Good morning. I slept like crap last night. So, I woke up probably around like 5 something in the morning, and I was just having like cramping like all night, and I just had kind of enough of it. So I jumped in the shower to try to like get like the hot water to you know, help with the cramping, because that used to, it like feels like a period cramp. Like I'm gonna get my period any second, or like I already have my period and I'm cramping like that, and it's just irritating and I don't like it. And so I used to just like jump in the shower, and the hot water used to like take them away. Well, it didn't. So I just took some Tylenol now to try to help with that, because it's like so painful. Like I didn't sleep at all last night because of it, and I don't want to wake Michael up because he usually gets up at like 7:30 for work, and right now it's like almost 7. So I'm just sitting downstairs with Doug. Keeps going in and out of the house, so I'm just sitting here kind of waiting for Michael to get up, and I'm trying to be quiet because I don't want to wake him up. I think Maggie went back up to bed with him, but I think I'll just make some breakfast for him because I don't think he's really eaten a full breakfast in a while. So I'll make him some breakfast and get along with my day, and I'll probably make a list of things I need to do today before my mom comes. She said she'd be leaving at like lunchtime-ish, so she should be here like mid-afternoon. But yeah, hopefully these cramps go away because they're real annoying. Real annoying. What are you doing?
So we obviously look at the Miami.
What are you doing? Why are you sitting there like that? You're being lazy. You're being lazy. You're being lazy. Hey, Doug.
That's a Thursday night.
You look sad.
They got the 0-2 Broncos. They got the Carolina Panthers.
So I did just take a little nap on the couch downstairs. I was really tired. So I'm going to start sorting laundry and then put a load in, and then go to the store and run some of my errands there. I think my mom should be leaving soon. She just texted me a video of Athena jumping around. So I'm gonna get some stuff done around this house. Just got home from the grocery store. I couldn't find the one deodorizer thing, so I'm just gonna order off Amazon because I'm already irritated every time I go there that I can't find it. So, and I just picked up Michael's bagels, got some cinnamon rolls, and then crock pot liners and aluminum foil because I needed that. But I did pick up a cute little cake. It says, "Welcome, Ethan." I kind of want to eat it now, but I will save it. But I need to put it in the fridge for sure. But I'm gonna eat something because it's like 12:15 now. My mom just left her house like an hour ago, so she should be here within a couple of hours. And then I don't know what we're gonna do, to be honest. No idea. I am laying on the couch here because I am in so much pain right now. Every time I get up to like go get a load of laundry, it's so painful. Like bending over hurts, like walking hurts. I don't even know if I'm like going into active labor right now or not, because I don't know fully what a contraction feels like. I thought it was like all over the belly pain, but I'm just like having like lower abdominal pains and like shooting pain through my right leg when I walk, like through the back side of it. Oh, thank God my mom will be here in like 20 minutes because I can't I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, and I think I just like fully lost my mucus plug when I went to the bathroom. It's just so painful to even sit up right now. Oh my gosh. Like it feels like a really bad, intense like period cramp. Like how I used to get them, and they are not fun at all. I just took some Tylenol again because it seemed to help this morning, but it's honestly, they're getting worse, and it, God, like breathing through them is like almost impossible. So I don't know if I'm like, I like looked it up to see if it was like labor. And they said like early signs of it like starts in your lower abdominal, so then I thought like, okay, well maybe I am actually going into labor here. Oh my gosh, it hurts so bad. Which would be nice if I went into labor like by myself, like naturally, because I heard it's like less painful than getting put on like Pitocin and everything. But like I'm supposed to get induced tomorrow. I'm supposed to go to the doctor's tomorrow morning now. At like 11 or something. I don't know. Like I'm trying just to lay down and do everything, but like it feels like he's coming out of my butt. It's ridiculous. So painful, and I literally just want to fold laundry. Like I don't even have that much laundry to do, but I don't know. And I've been texting Michael to say like I think I'm actively going into labor, and he's just like putting it off. And he thinks it's just like the Braxton Hicks, but I don't know. I'll get my mom's opinion since she's actually gone through labor before. Oh, but she got induced. I don't think she got induced with me though. Oh God. And they're not consistent. I guess I should be timing them just in case if they are. It hurts more when I stand up. More than anything. Seriously. The dogs are going insane, so I'm guessing my mom's here. With her too. Oh, who's here, Dougie? Who's here? Ooh. Are they coming to the car? Maggie. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Teeny. Ow, Teeny. Bye. Yeah, you gotta say hi to Grandma.
Okay. Here, Tina. Let me take your thing off. Hurry. Hold on. Hold on.
It's gonna be really bad lighting, but I don't even remember what time the last time I updated you guys, but I think I said about how I was having like these really bad pains, unsure if they were contractions or not. I'm pretty sure they are because now we've been timing them. I just got over one. So I've had 5 contractions in the past hour. Well, now it says 6 in the past hour. They're like really inconsistent. The last one was 15 minutes apart from that last one. Then the one before that was 6 minutes, and the 2 before that was 8. Anyway, so my doctor said as soon as I hit 5 contractions within an hour that are lasting a minute, and they are, was to give him a call and to see kind of what the plan was for that, and he just gave me a call back and was like, come on into the hospital. Oh yeah, and I didn't update you guys, but pretty sure I had my bloody show and it was disgusting. So that's another thing. Michael said he's gonna throw up.
Yeah, I'm in a solid nausea place right now.
I think it's hilarious that like you're getting so nervous and like worked up. You're not the one that has to go through it.
Yeah, but I can't do anything about it either. I have to just sit there and watch.
Exactly. It's so funny because I was trying to make this like a baby watch video, and if this is like the beginning of like our labor and delivery.
No baby watch video, it's just
no baby watch, it'll just be a labor and delivery vlog. So we're heading into the hospital to see kind of what's going on there. I don't know. I mean, it would be great if I went into labor without the induction, because that would just be, it'd be good.
Yeah.
Because I heard it's less painful when you go in by yourself than being induced. So that'll be great. But all right, we're about like a half an hour away from the hospital, and Michael said he's not driving like a maniac. So we'll probably be there in like 40 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe they'll send us home tonight. Maybe they're gonna make us wait until they're like a certain amount. I don't really know, but we'll keep you guys updated. Okay, so I'm so red. I'm running a little bit of a fever, which you say 100.1 or something like that. And I don't know what this is. This is a room, I guess, before you get completely admitted, but I just got checked and I am at a 4 centimeters dilated. So probably going to be staying. They're calling my doctor right now, but the contractions are getting worse. They're so bad. I'm about to have one again, I think. Can you put this down a little bit? Keep going a little bit. That. See, that one wasn't as bad.
You just have a contraction?
A little one, yeah. Anyway, so then we sat there for 2 hours, right?
They wanted to wait 2 hours and reevaluate. That's what they said.
Yeah. So in that meantime, they were like, oh, do you want something for the pain type of thing? And I asked them, is it like pill form or is it something else? And they said it was through an IV, and I rejected it at that time. Because, like, the contractions were bad, but, like, I could breathe through them still, and it wasn't, like, unbearable. And then I had, like, 3 other contractions, and I was like, give me the meds.
Yeah.
I was like, give them to me. I think the IV was probably the worst needle I had to get that entire time. I just, again, don't like needles. So they put it in, like, this part of my arm here, just because I don't want it on my hand. I don't want it, like, to be visible, like that type of thing. And I said I want it in the most comfortable spot. I think that's what I said. So they put it in like right around here, and then they gave me whatever that pain medicine is.
Yeah, Stadol, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's what it was, Stadol.
Yeah. And that pain medicine put me to sleep, I think, for a little bit.
You slept for about an hour?
Yeah, and they came back and checked me after the 2-hour mark, and I think I was at 5.
I don't remember a number, but they admitted you.
Yeah, so they admitted me then. I think I was at 5 centimeters or something like that. So they admitted me. I don't even remember walking back to the room, to be honest.
So they admitted her, and then they moved us from the
It was kind of like a triage area.
that we were in, and they put us into an actual labor room, like this is where you're gonna have the baby, and I think it was kind of when it started to get real.
I don't even know if it got. I don't even remember walking from that triage to like the labor and delivery room. Now that I
Well, that's
think
because
about
you
it.
started actually having contractions that were like hurting.
Yeah, and that pain medicine wore off. And then they started me on my fluids. Ugh.
Yep. They said they had to put a. Well, your pain was bad enough that the nurse offered you the epidural, but they had to put a bag of fluid in your first, like a whatever, an IV.
And it takes
bag.
like 40 minutes to kick in. And then I was able to get my epidural, and that 40 minutes
That was rough.
rough. Like my contractions
That was hard for me to watch.
went from 0 to 100 in about like
10
2 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was probably the most pain I was in, like the entire labor. It was kind of like an out of body experience of how bad the pain was. Okay, so I just had to switch my battery. But what was I saying? Oh, so the contractions were really bad within that 40 minutes. And then as soon as I got to like 5 more minutes to go,
Stop it.
so that was probably the longest like 40 minutes of my life.
Yeah.
And they said as soon as I got to, what was it, 10 minutes or 5 minutes to go,
Yeah.
they were going to call the anesthesiologist,
Anesthesiologist.
thank you, to come give me my epidural. I said I wanted it as soon as possible, as soon as I'm allowed to have it. So after I had to drain those fluids, then I was allowed to get it. But, so when I was able to get it, the anesthesiologist got called into a emergency C-section with a woman with twins. So I had to wait another hour
Probably.
to get my
Because you were
epidural.
like so close to relief, and she was like, "I'm sorry, she just got called in," or he just got called in.
Yeah. So I had to wait a
And that
whole
was
another
brutal.
hour. So by the time, literally I would say like every 2 minutes, I was like, is he almost here? Like after every contraction, I was like crying. And I'm sure I was like the loudest person on that floor that night. Because that was probably around, what time now?
It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning is when he actually came in.
Yeah.
Right, to give me my epidural. So we probably got admitted. I mean, we could
I
probably
got
leave a text
admitted
message.
after midnight.
Yeah, like right after midnight. And then I had to wait until like 3 o'clock until he gave me my epidural. At that point, I was 7 centimeters dilated. So you can only imagine how much pain I was in already. And literally trying to breathe through those contractions is not a thing. And I literally was just crying.
They said your breathing was really good.
Yeah, I don't know how. So finally, literally he comes in. I'm like so worked up thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a contraction while he's putting this big huge needle in my mouth, needle in my back, and I'm gonna like freak out or whatever. And at that point he's like, oh, you're gonna feel a pinch, and he pushed the needle into my back. I literally like felt nothing.
Yeah,
So I
you
guess
took
like
that
my
really
pain,
well.
I guess my pain level from the contractions were like 10 times higher than what he, that needle was.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even feel like the fluid go in, like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, they let me numb up a little bit. They put a catheter in. And from then on, I kind of slept through the night. Oh, so they say that every time you get an epidural, the baby's heart rate could go down. And that definitely...
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And like, I was watching the monitor, and his heart rate dropped down from like, I think it was steady around like 130 when he was normal, and then it dropped all the way down to like 65 in a matter of like 2 minutes. And so they had Emma like toss it and turn it on the bed, like turn it her different ways so that I guess he would get a better, I don't know if it was blood flow or blood pressure drops. That's what it is. So they were trying to increase his blood
I
pressure.
thought it was his heart rate.
Well, his heart rate dropped, but like the blood
Oh,
pressure is
okay.
what they say drops. too, and so they were like flipping her around different ways to get his heart rate back up, and
That was a little scary.
They did a really great job. I thought like they handled it really calm. I was freaking out.
I know. I literally
sure
looked
you
back
were.
at. So like our room was like almost like 3
It was
rooms
It was
long.
a big room.
So Michael had like a pull-out bed thing, and he was sitting on it, and I like looked at him while like these 5 nurses like rushed in to like flip me on my one side, because obviously I can't really do that because
you
my
weren't
legs
able
are all
to do
dead.
anything.
So they flipped me to one side, they flipped me the other, and then as soon as they're like, okay, we need to get her on all fours, get the oxygen mask, I looked at Michael's face, and your face was like,
Well, I couldn't do anything.
like
I was just,
shocked, like I can't do anything,
Yeah.
like I don't know what the heck's happening.
It was definitely, it was bad. Well, I was just watching the monitor, and I was like, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. And like they're doing stuff, and I'm like, it's still going down. And then once they got it squared away, like it was all good. It went right back up. Everybody was good. And then I passed out.
Well, not like passed out like that, like,
but like
felt
once his heart rate was good and you were good, I went to bed for like 3 hours. Because it was, you know, they had popped your water already or right after you got your epidural, they popped your water, and then I went to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, so as soon as that happened, they let me get all numbed up, and then they popped my water.
Mm-hmm.
And then, at that point, you went to sleep for a little bit. And, I didn't go to sleep. I tried to sleep, but, his heart rate kept going down. So there was a nurse, in there with us at all times, like I said before at the beginning of this video. So she literally had me flipping from side to side the whole night, and then like oxygen mask on. So at that point, like I just like wasn't sleeping because they would try to wake me up every, I don't even know how often. So, and then also like my anxiety was like through the roof. I was like, what is happening? Like, why is his heart rate dropping so much? Well, obviously he's all good and well. He's here. And then, so they woke me up probably around like, was it like 8?
I woke up at 7, 2 of the nurses in the room, and they said you were 9.5 centimeters, and they were like, we're getting ready to push, and I'm like half awake. I was like,
so
what?
The nurses go over to Michael and go, Michael, like, I think I asked them, I said, can you wake up my husband, please? And they're like, Michael. I was like, you literally have to kick him awake to like get him up. So I think she shoved you or something to wake you up.
Fine.
But then I was like 9.5, and then they called my doctor, I'm not going to say his name on camera, my doctor to come in. Obviously he was home, so he came in, and then as soon as he got in, they checked me again, and I was, 10 centimeters.
You started pushing the first time at 7:42.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
At 7:42 he came in that early? I thought, okay.
It was 7:42.
Okay. That's weird how you remember that time.
It's because you started pushing at 11:42 the second time.
Okay. So I pushed for a whole hour, right?
2 hours.
Did I do 2 straight hours?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. So I did 2 straight hours of pushing, and then throughout that entire time, like he would suck back in. So I literally, all the effort I would do for pushing, he would just suck back in, which kind of sucked, like big time. They ended up having like keeping my legs back like the whole time. So by the time I was done, my legs felt so dead, and like my hips hurt, and my groin, they feel so tight because they've been back that far for that long. So pushed for 2 hours, didn't really progress that much.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So you pushed for 2 hours, and then they wanted you to take a break because you were definitely in some pain. So your doctor
exhausted.
said he wanted you to relax a little bit and recuperate, and they wanted to give you like a booster in your epidural so that you would feel less pain.
So I had like extreme like back labor only on like my left side, and they said that's possibly like he was like sitting on one of my nerves. But it was like straight in my back, and then I would feel it like right in the crevice of my leg and my hip, and it would just shooting pain. So like I was more focused on that than on pushing. So they gave me the extra booster in my epidural, and they said let's rest for an hour and see where we are or whatever. Anyways, that booster kind of like put me to sleep, and then I woke up in excruciating pain from my back. and the thing that was shooting down my leg. And did we start pushing again? And then I was like, I can't do it.
You started pushing at 11:42, or no, I'm sorry. They re-administered a booster right before you started pushing again because they saw how comfortable you got. You actually fell asleep. Like literally, you were having contractions, and like you're watching like the chart go up on the screen, and Emma didn't even flinch. So
when I was sleeping
good.
The first booster?
Yes, after the first booster. So he said he wanted to give you a second booster because you would be more comfortable and you'd be able to push more effectively. Mm-hmm. So they gave you the second booster and you started pushing.
I think they saw how much pain I was in too.
Yeah.
As soon as it came out, like I couldn't get comfortable. Like I had like that type of back pain while I was pregnant. Not to the extent of what it was, but usually if I stretched it out, it would go away. But like nothing was working. Really.
Oh yeah, it's back labor. So.
Yeah.
So they gave you the booster and you started pushing again, and like they said you made some progress, but like they could not figure out
like why he wasn't coming out.
Yeah.
Like there was what did they say?
They could see his hair. Like
yeah, they saw that
right
he had
there.
a ton of hair. I think they found that out even like the first time I was pushing.
They couldn't get his head under your pelvic bone.
Pelvic bone. That's what I was trying to figure out. So like once you get past that pelvic bone, I guess the doctor comes in and you're ready to go to push. And literally kept asking, "Are we past it?
Yeah.
Are we past it?"
Like they kept saying no.
No. And I was like, "Well, am I making progress? Like I feel like I'm pushing myself."
Sorry.
I don't want to see you yawn because then I yawn.
You looked at the screen.
I looked. Anyways, so I kept asking. I was like, "Did I get past it? Did I get past it?" And they're like, "No. No."
Yeah, that was pretty disappointing because like I wanted you to get done too.
Yeah, it was really exhausting, let's just say. So I got to within like the fourth hour of pushing. The third hour of pushing, I felt like myself. Like I was joking around, like all this kind of stuff, like while I was pushing. And then after that third hour, I literally looked at Michael. Actually, that was before even the third hour. I literally was like, I'm done. I like looked at you and I was like, I'm done. I'm exhausted. I don't want to do this anymore. Like that type of thing. Because of the pain. And then they gave me the booster again. And then every 10 minutes, Michael would give me the boost of the epidural, like the drip, because they allowed it. So Michael was drugging me up the whole time. They put a limit on it, so if you push it too much within an hour, they don't allow it to go in anymore. Like the machine doesn't allow you to go in, so don't think I was like overdosing on drugs or anything like that. And then so when I got to the fourth hour of pushing, I was beyond exhausted. Like I have never been this exhausted in my life. I would push and then I would pass out in between contractions, and then they would wake me up when I had to push again. And
you're definitely exhausted.
And what kind of sucked throughout my entire thing, so I would say like I was having somewhat regular contractions before they put me on Pitocin. Somewhat regular. And then once they put me on Pitocin, I would have a contraction like every 2 minutes, and then there would be like a huge break of like 5 to 7 minutes.
It was so weird.
It was so weird, but they kept me on Pitocin to try to make him come down more or something.
Just to keep your contractions regular, I believe.
Yeah. So literally we would have like I would have a contraction like every 2 minutes, and then it would be like 5. And then one time I think it was 10 minutes in between contractions or something like that. It was something weird. So that made the pushing process 10 times longer because it wasn't like back to back to back. And so anyways, I would pass out in between contractions and I would wake up to push. And then I think after that fourth hour or close to that.
Once it was right about like 2 o'clock. So that would have been.
So 3.5 hours?
In your third or your fourth, hour after the third full hour pushing.
Yeah.
Counting the first 2 hours and the second 2.
Yeah.
So the doctor came in and said they were going to help and provide assistance, and they decided to go the vacuum route, which was not what I expected it to be. I expected like a hose. I had no idea.
No.
And that things got intense. Like, it really was.
Yeah. So they came in and they were like, okay, we're going to help you. I literally was like, thank the Lord. I was like done. I was exhausted. I didn't know what I was just like, get this baby out. Like, anyway, so they come in. Now there's like 15 to 20 people in the room.
Yeah, the resident doctor came in, and then her kind of like team, and then you already had 3 nurses in there. There was like 2 medical students, your OBGYN, a couple of other nurses who were going to take the baby like as soon as he was born. It was just like a whole staff of people came in and kind of like made like a U shape around the bed.
Yeah. If you at that point I was like, does anyone else want to see? Come in for an educational purpose. Come on in.
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
There was a lot of people in there. So anyways, the senior resident there, like, she was amazing.
Yeah, she did a really good job.
She was a really good job. So she's the one that actually was like yanking on the vacuum while my doctor was there to like try to help like move everything around.
A lot of hands in a small place.
Yeah. So pretty much we get there, they're telling us this is the vacuum, this is how it works, whatever. He's gonna have a little circle on his head, and they said you're going to tear. And I was like, at that point I was like in one ear, one out the other, and I literally was like, get him out.
So the vacuum is not like a hose or anything that like provides suction. It's actually like this little handle that's probably like this big, and then there's a tube, like a really small tube that runs to this circular disc, and the disc connects. They like connected the disc to his scalp, and then they squeeze the handle, and it suctions the air out of that little tube, and it basically suction cups to his head, and that handle they use to pull on that kind of suction cup on his head. So they're like pulling him out while Emma was pushing, basically, so you get double the force. And it was just like,
I didn't know it like looked like a gun. I'm like,
well, it didn't look like a gun, but like I'm just talking just like a handle. It was just, I don't know, it was you know how your breast pump looks, that one, the handheld one they gave you from the hospital.
Oh yeah,
that's what it looked like, with like a tube. I know it doesn't help you guys visualize, I'm sorry, but it's, maybe you could put a picture of it in so that people know, because when I thought of vacuum, that is not what I expected.
I was expecting like a triangle thing.
That's interesting. We had very different visions, so I didn't really know what it was. I thought they might like put like a big suction tube on and just turn it on.
But when they showed it to me, they showed me the white with the yellow, and I thought it was just a sticky thing that they were going to hold it to like a string and pull it out with a string. No. I guess that wouldn't be a lot. So
like the resident doctor would pull, your doctor would like try to like, I don't know.
He stuck his hands up there, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was just maneuvering stuff, and you were pushing, and it was a couple more pushes, and they said you were going to have to get an emergency C-section because his heart rate was dropping, and like he was already pretty far in the birth canal, and I was kind of freaking out. I know Emma heard the C-section term, and she was like, oh my gosh, because like you pushed all this time, and then they're just going to C-section him, and you're going to have to get like the recovery of both. Yeah. Which would have been crappy.
Well, when they said, like the resident doctor like made eye contact with me the whole time, like everything else is happening in this room. All these people are talking to each other, like what we're supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. I literally didn't hear a word anyone said except for that resident doctor. And she was like looking at me like, Emma, you need to push him out on this one. His heart rate's dropping, or we're going to have to do a C-section. I literally looked at Michael, and like I'm going to get like teared up right now. I literally bawled.
Yeah. Like
looking at you. I think it was because like, it wasn't the fact that like I had to get like a C-section. Like if that was going to be the case, like that's fine. Like, it's him that like his heart rate's dropping, and I can't do anything about it. It's like, I'm pushing as hard as I can. Like I'm literally passing out in between pushes because how hard I'm pushing. Yeah. And
so you pushed that one.
It was just like a scary moment.
Scary.
It was so scary. So like if he didn't come out that one push, and she's like, we're gonna do another one right now, and literally like I couldn't even like catch my breath or anything, and I'm like pushing as hard as I can, and I think I got him out after that second push.
Yep, you got enough of them out where they kind of just like
they pulled him out. They didn't
that.
even have me push or anything anymore. They literally just pulled him out.
Yeah.
Just to like try to make his like heart rate go back up.
Yep. And the little man had the biggest cone head I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But he was perfect.
Yeah.
Cone head and all.
Yeah, and they laid him on me, and he started crying immediately, right? You said as soon as he came out?
As soon as his head came out, he was crying. Like, they didn't have to do anything to him.
Exactly.
It was
so
crazy.
they laid him on me, and then they tell me, okay, you had a 2nd-degree tear. They are stitching me up, and at this point, I'm literally just holding Ethan on my chest. And I'm literally, I think I'm holding your hand or something, and I'm literally just crying.
Yeah, you cried like a baby after that, which is fine. And kind of expected, to be honest.
Yeah, I couldn't even control my emotions. Like, I don't even know what I was feeling in that moment. I think it was like a thing of relief, I think.
And they pretty much like they cleaned them off, laid them on your chest, and they did like the rest of the stuff they do down there. And
yeah, Michael, you said they stitched me up for like 20 minutes.
They got the placenta out and everything. I got to cut the umbilical cord, which was pretty cool. It was a lot more rubbery than I expected.
That's kind of gross. I didn't even see it or anything like that. My eyes were closed, just holding him on my chest.
They cleaned everything up, stitched everything up. They stitched for a while. I don't know what they were stitching, but they were stitching for a while. You had a 2nd-degree tear, they said. And that was, like, it was so fast. But it was quick. They, all the people kind of that were in there, I feel like it was just a couple of seconds, but obviously it was longer than that.
Half an hour.
Yeah, and they were in it, then they were in, and then they were out, and that's it. It was over.
Yeah, exactly. So he was born at 2:28, weighed 8 pounds.
PM.
Yes, PM. Weighed 8 pounds, 4 ounces, and he was 20.5 inches long.
Yep. Ain't
Which
that
I
right,
guessed
my
that
guy?
completely right. So he was born on the 18th of September as well. But I guessed everything right except for his date. I said the 16th instead of the 18th. But now he's here.
Yep.
And
we're better for it.
correct. Thank you guys all so much for watching this video.
Yeah.
Please give it a big thumbs up if you liked today's video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. And leave comments down below if you had similar experiences or if you guys had any questions about anything that we discussed. Just leave them down in the comments below, and
Oh, look at that.
I will see you guys in my next video.